in matters of salvation, faith, and life.
Proclaiming and contending for the Christian faith,
Understanding the Bible in its simplest sense.
truth through the lens of the Holy Scriptures.
I'm Randy Marshadesh.
And I'm Team Duhay Longsod, and you're watching Truth in Focus.
Yung nabanggit nga ni Tim na theological framework, when we speak about framework, we talk about the backbone ng bawa ng tao. Dapat may backbone para siya tumayo. So, ganun din.
Parang skeleton yan,
Parang
no?
skeleton, yes. May vertebrae siya. So, in terms of doctrines or teachings sa scripture, sa theology, may tinatawag na theological framework in which hindi mo pwedeng gawing isang katuruan ang isang bagay na kung saan hindi natin makikita ang struktura nito na mula sa Biblia. And there is a special character of the Church of God as the place of His special presence. Let's talk about the place muna. We will find that on Matthew chapter 18, verse 20. Ang sabi rito, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I am there in the midst of them." So the context here, kung titingnan natin, is that mayroong nananampalataya sa Panginoong Hesus, 2 or 3 that are gathered, naroon ang kanyang presensya sa lugar na yon. So ibig sabihin, hindi ito sinasabi na isang specific lugar lamang, katulad sa panahon ng Israel na sa Jerusalem lamang ang temple, doon lamang ang marapat sumamba. Pero sa panahon ngayon, binago ito ng ating Panginoong Hesus, ang sinasabi, kahit saan ka man sa mundo, basta't mayroong 2 o 3 na nagkakatipon sa pangalan ng ating Panginoong Hesus. Hindi nagtipon dahil nagkape lang sila, Brad.
So anong konteksto nung sinabi na 1 or 2 gathered in His name?
Yes.
Yung sabi mo nga, nagkatagpo lang dun sa isang fast food chain, for example.
Yes.
3. Ibig bang sabihin nun, ando dun yung presensya ng Panginoon, pero bang ibig sabihin?
Well, ang ating Panginoon ay kahit saan naroon siya. Pero there is a special presence of God in a special day. Ang ibig sabihin dito ay yung gathering ng kanyang mga anak. Hindi gathering na yung merely breakfast fellowship or coffee fellowship or we have a fellowship on at the park. Hindi yun ibig
O
sabihin.
nagkatagpo lang sa isang
Yes.
place na may accident.
Yes, ang ibig sabihin niya rito is fellowship ng mga believers on a specific Lord's Day.
So what you're saying is
It's
it
the
is
gathering.
within the context of the church
Yes,
gathered.
formal gathering of the church. So hindi po ito Monday o Tuesday. Kasi nga yung kanina, yung pinag-uusapan natin, yung na-quote ko kanina si Mark Driscoll, sa kanila, they have this principle that every day is worship. And I guess we have a friend also that claims also to be reformed. And he said once that every day is a day of worship. Yes, in a sense, yes. But in scriptures, mismo ating Panginoong Hesus, there is a designated place and a day in which there is a formal gathering or formal day of worship, a time of worship.
Maalala ko yun, Randy, nagsimula pa sa Genesis, yun na ang
Yes.
prinsipyong itinakda
Yes.
Pagkatapos niya,
Halukayin natin yun mamaya.
pagkatapos niyang lumikha, talagang tumigil siya sa his creative
Yes.
work and rested on the day, and he even sanctified it.
Yes.
For what purpose?
Dahil ba napagod ng Diyos sa kanyang trabaho? Yun, kailangan, we'll tackle that topic also. That is what we call nowadays as the Sunday service. Medyo mas rhetorical ang ating gamitin term. It's the Lord's Day or tinatawag na Christian Sabbath. We'll have an episode na para dedicated lang para diyan.
So
Okay.
go on, Randy, yung sinasabi mo kanina na may
So,
special presence ang
Diyos.
ang Diyos.
sa isang special na lugar.
Okay.
Ang lugar na yon, kahit saan man yon, may bubong man o wala, nasa kabundukan man o nasa patag, ang sabi roon, kung nasaan yung dalawa tatlo, nakakatipon sa kanyang pangalan, naroon siya sa kanilang kalagitnaan. Meaning to say, if there's not a gathering of His children on that specific place, specific date, which is in the context of the church, this is church service, wala siya doon. Hindi yon. Hindi yun yung day of worship that He communes with His people. Though God communes with His people every day, but there's a special presence of God whenever they meet in a formal church gathering. Para makita natin yon, kung aatras tayo, babasahin natin yung text, mapansin natin dito sa verse 15. Sabi, moreover, if your brother sin against you, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. If he hears you, you have gained your brother. So, ang context dito is pinag-uusapan yung church discipline. So, in the context of the church. Okay? So, sabi niya rito, but if he will not hear, take with you one or two more, that by the mouth of two or three witnesses, every word may be established. 17. But if he refuses to hear them, tell it to the church. So, pinag-uusapan dito is church. So, this is the place, the house of God. So, there's a special place in which the presence of God is there. His special presence, it is in the
Church.
church or the house of God. So, it speaks about a gathered assembly. He spoke of a day, that specific day. Hindi ba pwedeng all the days of the week? Church discipline must be imposed kailan? Monday to Saturday? No. In the context of the church, you bring it to the church on a Lord's Day pa rin. So, are they gathered daily? Or they assemble daily? Though we've seen that in Acts na bread breaking sila araw-araw, again, pero later we saw in the book of Acts na ang worship service, they're singing, they're giving, they're listening to the word is on every first day of the week. So, meron palang special presence ng Diyos sa special na araw, sa special na lugar, at sa mga special na tao. Believers lang, hindi sinabi rito lahat ng tao. So, mayroong special na presensya o pakikisama ang Diyos sa kanyang mga special na tao, hindi lahat ng tao sa buong mundo, yun lamang nananampalataya sa Kanya. Saan lugar? Doon sa household of God. Meaning, the church. So, this is the context. And again, yung connection ng ating binabasa at yung condition nitong church ay nandoon sa yung rule ba na Scripture interprets Scripture. So we don't jump into verses just to prove na, wait, sa church ba yan? O baka mamaya nakita lang sila sa kanto? Hindi. Nakita natin sa context na dito, sinabi ng Panginoong Jesus na tell it to the church kung nagkasala yung kapatid. So, church sa pinag-uusapan dito. Then, on 1 Corinthians chapter 5, we draw you there to 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 4, ang sabi rito, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, when you are gathered together along with my spirit, with the power of our Lord Jesus Christ. So, again, it proves that there is a special place ng presensya ng Diyos at kung saan bumababa ang Diyos na nakikipag-commune sa kanyang mga tao. That is on a church service. That is in the context of the church. So, kung ganun yung character ng Diyos, magkarugtong yun ang Pauline interpretation, yun ang interpretation ni Paul, doon sa Matthew chapter 18 nating binasa. When there is gathering ng people of God, formal worship, meaning the context of the church, nandoon ang presensya ng Diyos. So meaning, well, logically is, ang presensya ng Diyos ay nadadama, especially sa gathering ng kanyang mga tao.
Although He's omnipresent naman. Ano?
Yes. Although He's omnipresent. At makikita natin yung character ngayon na there is regulation Malinaw po doon na mayroong regulation ng araw, ng oras, at kung sino ang mga tao na bumababa ang presensya o nariyan ang presensya ng Diyos. So, this is obviously regulative principle. Diba? It's very clear. So, note, biblically, it makes sense to say that if God is specially present to some place or a place, there is a special conduct required to that place. Tama?
Opo.
So,
Hindi lang regulated yung lugar kung nasaan ang special na presence niya, pati yung ating
tao.
conduct doon,
yes,
regulated din.
regulated din. So, this idea finds its origin, makita natin sa Old Testament, when Jacob slept and saw the ladder in heaven. Let's read the Genesis chapter 28. Yung nabanggit ni Tim kanina na it found its origin sa Old Testament pa. Sabi sa Genesis chapter 28 verse 12, sabi rito, "Then he dreamed, and behold, a ladder was set up on earth, and its top reached the heaven. And there the angels of God were ascending and descending of it." So, nakita ito sa habang natutulog si Jacob, nag-unan siya ng bato. Habang nag-unan siya ng bato, nakatulog siya, naginip siya, at nakita niya yung hagdanan. There appeared a ladder na akyat baba yung mga angels. It's a hagdanan na puntang heaven. Sabi rito ni Jacob, nung magising siya, kinuha niya yung bato, ginawa niya foundation, and he promised to build a temple for God in that place. It's because in that place, there is the presence of God. So kung sa dami-daming lugar na tinulugan ni Jacob, bakit sa lugar lang na yun, naramdaman niya ang presensya ng Diyos at nagpadama ng presensya ang Diyos. So yun yung parang pintuan sa langit. Then, so when God appeared to Moses doon sa burning bush, let's read Exodus chapter 3, verse 5.
Ito ata yung text na pinapatanggal ata yung kanyang
Sandals, yes. Sa akin. Sabi rito, nung nasa Moses ay nandoon sa Mount Sinai at naroon ang Diyos, makipagkita sa Diyos, sabi ro, no? Then he said, "Do not draw near this place. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you stand is holy ground." So, the same also in the book of Joshua, chapter 5, verse 15. Sabi ron, si Joshua, when he met the commander of the host, o commander ng Diyos, the captain of the Lord's army, sabi sa kanya noon is, "Take your sandal off your foot, for the place where you stand is holy." And Joshua did so. Now, the point here is, ang disclaimer natin dito is, we're not suggesting for the people of God that whenever you would go to church on Sunday, is that you will take off your shoes. Though that happens in Korea because they wear a different sandals inside their houses or in their churches. Hindi yon. It is not a matter of cultural na issue ito. Hindi ito cultural issue.
I think even in Islam, parang ganun din. When they
Yes,
go to their, tinatanggal din ang kanilang.
Yes. Pero ito, hindi cultural issue. Ang sinasabi rito is that anywhere in the world is perfect to wear shoes. Lahat. Anywhere. You go abroad, Philippines, anywhere in the country, you could wear shoes. Pero, bakit, ang question is, why is it not alright to wear sandals near the burning bush and near the presence of God doon sa, nung kausap ni Joshua, yung captain of the Lord? Obviously, because God is present in that place. Obviously, God's presence is in that place. And that is holy. So, it is a requirement of God na in meeting Him, doon sa context ng burning bush at nung kay Joshua, to take off their sandals. The presence of God changes everything. Kita nyo yung parang dynamics na at play doon? Because the Lord is there, the presence of God is there, and that place is holy, you take off your unholy sandal. That's a requirement of God. Nakita ba natin na sumuway kahit isa sa kanila? So meaning sa paglapit sa Diyos pala, ang Diyos mismo may regulasyon na. There's a regulated principle already that you have to take off your sandal because you're coming to God who is holy.
Maalala ko yung passage, hindi ko lang, I cannot remember the exact passage in Isaiah when he saw the glory of God.
Yeah.
Di ba? Nagpatira pa dun. Tapos, nasambit ata niya na, who unto me, man with unclean lips. Because, kumbaga, he was parang face-to-face with God. And that scenario talagang...
Yung seeing his unworthiness.
Oo.
Before God.
Ano ba yun sa Tagalog? Nagpatira pa.
Nagpatira pa. So, this is the point. Doon sa Matthew chapter 18 verse 20 na pinag-uusapan natin kanina. Where the church gathers, the place is holy grounds. So, I would repeat, where the church gathers, it is holy grounds. Kaya, kung ganon, nabanggit mo nga kanina na pati yung conduct nagbabago. Dahil ang rules nagbabago. Dahil yung sabi ng Diyos. Because of God's presence is there, that is holy. So, any place na naroon ang Diyos, it is holy. Ang Diyos ay nananahan sa kanyang mga tao, nananahan sa kanyang tahanan, in which the people of God gathers, automatically you must have a different conduct towards the owner of the house. I'll be quoting from Sam Waldron. Sabi niya, we must take off the unholy sandals of our creativity, our unholy sandals of innovations, where the church gathers. We must leave the sandals of our human inventions and our human pragmatism, human traditions, and human reasonings, worshiping God in the way He wants to be worshipped. We must worship God in the way He wants to be worshipped, because that is what He commanded to Moses. That is what He commanded to Joshua, and that is what Jacob saw also. So, with that said, we see why there is a difference of regulation of God with the assemblies of His people and the rest of the people or the rest of human life in the world. Diba? Mapapansin ba natin na ang Diyos nakikita po sa kanyang mga tao, hindi sa kanyang hindi mga tao. There's a special attention that God gives to His people, though makita natin that He does not give that attention, that special attention, to the other beings or the human life. And in this particular point, yung sinasabi ni Mark Driscoll na every day is worship and every day is a holy day, or every is holy, life is worship, mukhang nagkakamali siya dito. By seeing this text, we see here that our friend Mark Driscoll and some of our charismatic friends heard, even John Frame. So, God has a special communion in the assembly of His people, different from the rest of the world. So, makita natin yung dynamics nun. And there's also a distinctive regulation of the Church of God as the place of His special presence. I guess, sa iyo na, na part yun.